Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Yes, this is super last minute. I didn't even get to put anything in my description box or anything. I literally did this in a red light. Um, I just wanted to talk about some random stuff, but really wanted to talk about Miss Real Talk with Yenni. Shout out to you, Miss Real Talk with Yenni. Yes, another video dedicated to you, Miss Real Talk with Yenni. And your sassiness, maybe because you're celibate and you're frustrated and you're trying to get attention from men in this way because you're celibate. Okay, anyway, nothing wrong with that, by the way. I actually applaud you for being celibate, but apparently you're trying to get some of that male energy from, from not having sex by, I don't know, poking fun at black men and saying, oh, look, you got the little men mad. Then, yeah, I don't know if you got the men mad. I didn't check your comment section, but okay, if you say so. The person that says like triggering things and then gets off on watching people get triggered, maybe even like sexually aroused by seeing people get triggered. Like the white racist, which Yenni's kind of almost tiptoeing around because she's messing with that. Anyway, yeah, that type of thing. So, yeah, so Yenni is being sassy a-hole Yenni. Once again, she has lives up now where she has to tell her in the banner is she's telling her subscribers to be careful with their language because this live is going to stay up. Do y'all understand how bad that is? Like, it's interesting. Like, I'm not gonna, defend the black manosphere. We say some wild stuff, deservingly so, about some of the sisters. But do you understand like how bad your situation has to be where you're telling your subscribers, and excuse my background noise, that's the windshield wiper, and it is raining in South Florida because it's South Florida, of course. Yeah, but do you understand how bad it has to be for you to tell your subscribers to watch their language because you're gonna keep up alive? Y'all are so used to like deleting lives, and maybe not Yenni in specific, but y'all are so used to deleting lives. Y'all know how wild y'all subscribers get. How insulting they are towards black men, how they get off on just poking fun at black men, and you want to play damsel in distress just in case the alphabet boys are ever watching you. By the way, they're watching you. That you have to tell your subscribers to watch what they say because you're keeping up alive. Mr. Z is doing the duck face right now, right? Like, and then she has memes up of showing her face. I don't know if that's the angle you want to put up, Yenni, but okay. Showing her face, saying this is the face that's with a brother look like he's pouting, kind of medium brown, lighter brown skin brother look like he's pouting. And I'm just like, this is what you're getting off on? Like, maybe you do need to have some sex because you get off on the petty stuff, right? You're reverting back to the 16 that the dudes wasn't checking and they wasn't giving you hugs. That part, right? That sexual frustration is building, Miss Yenni. And like, I'm saying that in jest, kind of poking fun at you, but I'm saying that like seriously though. Like, I'm like, in all seriousness, let's take the jokes away. Let me say this to a lot of content creators, especially those of you with like hundreds of thousands of subscribers. Any video gets tens of thousands of subscribers. Most of your subscribers, your followers, they're never going to tell you that you're going too far left. You damn near got to say some Nazi level stuff before they say anything to you. And I know a lot of you think you're moderating your tone, you're not going too crazy. You are. And y'all don't really realize it until somebody that you're subscribed to says or does something heinous and it gets pinned back on you. Right? Like, whatever is going on in your life, we can hear it in your voice and the way you speak and the things you care about and the things you advocate for. I don't know if y'all realize that. Y'all be thinking, that's why I always tell my subscribers, hey, y'all hear me go too far left? Y'all know that's uncharacteristically Mr. Z. Y'all pull the coattails. And all the people I talk to online, I say, y'all hear Mr. Z going to that don't sound like certain Z. Be like, Z, hey, bro, you going too far. I don't know. That might have something I would have thought you would say, right? But for the rest of you, Yenni, Chrissy, Paris, you saying nakers, bro. You're calling black men nakers. You got a hole, and I don't want to hear none of this. Well, you black men is over here saying this stuff. Let's be very clear. Well, you know what Mr. Z doesn't say? I'm doing this because the black women are doing this. Even the other day when I said prison rules, oh, you playing by prison rules, fine then. Right? But you know what you didn't hear me say? I'm doing this because, well, and Paris has actually said it out her mouth. Well, the black men say this, so fair game. Really now? All that means is excuses. You want to say that type of stuff anyway. And everyone with testicles on this planet knows exactly what Mr. Z is talking about. Women be wanting to say stuff and they just wait for the man to say it. So now they think that this gives them the license because, you know, they always got to maintain that moral high ground. Been sitting on sun for months, weeks, years, maybe. And finally a man says something and she's like, yes, now I get to say it. Now I get to say what I wanted to say for 2, 3, 5, 10, 20 years. If y'all got married parents, y'all already know. Aunts and uncles that have been married for decades, y'all already know. Right? And by the way, Yenni, choose one. Are you a feminist? Are you pro-black women? Are you black women empowerment? Or do you want some type of form of patriarchy? Because you keeping one foot in and one foot out on both. Like I told FP Signifier, even his girl Kim Foster, all of them got their foot in, one foot out on the patriarchy and feminism, especially in the black community. Especially in the black community. It's just a bunch of women with their one foot in, one foot out. I want the patriarchy, but I don't really care for the patriarch. Right? Unless something goes bump in the night, by the way. Or unless I'm inadequate in some way, then I want the patriarch. But other than that, on a day-to-day, I don't want the patriarch, but I want the patriarchy, though. But I still want to be I Am Woman, Hear Me Roar. Right? I still want to be Rosie the Riveter. Right? Yenni's engaging in that type of stuff. And we already said they part to impossible. Remember what Chrissy said? You ain't shit, but black men ain't shit until we build Wakanda. And she'll be the arbiter. She'll be the judge of whether black men are shit or not. These people have become straight megalomaniacs on YouTube because they got a few hundreds of thousand subscribers. A few 100,000 yes women, and now they hold megalomaniacs. Shit don't count until they say it count. Right? Oh yes, we will be using profanity. And Demetrius says she proclaimed herself a womanist. Okay, then don't go eat some vagina or go end up with some white dude and leave black men alone. I'll say that to any one of these, like, I am woman, hear me roar. Go eat some vagina. Go leave black. Hell no. Shout out to Sarge Willie Pete. Yeah. So all that means is we could give you the diamond encrusted wool, you know, wool from the softest wool of a lamb passenger seat, and you still gonna have something to say. All right then. This car doesn't have 2 steering wheels. There's only 1 steering wheel. That means we could put you in a goddamn Bentley, in a Bugatti, in a Rolls Royce, and you still gonna have something to say. All right, no. Right? 100% accurate. No, hell no. Right? Shout out to you, Kareen. Yeah, we going in on Yenni today again, Kareen. You know, we going in on Yenni again. Right? Homegirl lost the weight and she's still the sassy a-hole. Right? Hiding behind her celibacy, hiding behind not using profanity. All these people are like losers, bro. I'm sorry. I ain't saying Mr. Z is winning everything in life, but Jesus Christ. Right? And stop calling black men whiners. What do y'all, wait a minute, let me make sure I say this. People think that just because they're not overtly whining, that their content isn't them whining. All y'all do every day. I'm a black man. I've been around black women my entire life. You don't think what you're doing whining. You're talking crap about black men. You're using other black women as weapons against black men. You're using young black women against weapons against young black men, right? You're whining. You're complaining. You're raging to God that you can't get or keep the type of black man you want. You're whining. You're crying. You're crying. The tears ain't rolling down your face, at least publicly for everyone to see. But oh yeah, you're definitely whining. Oh, you're whining. Right? You're pouting, you're whining, you're yelling, you're screaming to God. Why? Oh yeah, Eric Deadman. I'm gonna switch it up for a few videos eventually, and we're gonna start talking about more politics and social issues and what's going on with black men on that front. These divester wannabe, swirler adjacent, divester adjacent women are gonna just have to take a backseat to more important pressing matters. Right? You know. And Eric Deadman says, Mr. Z, these upcoming elections will be very interesting. Will the young men come out to vote? And if they do, will it be a full-on referendum and rebuke of feminism? See, I don't know about that. I'm not even gonna lie to you, brother. I don't know if the young men coming out to vote, white, black, Latino, or otherwise, like, you know, Asian or otherwise. I don't know about that. But, you know, we're black. We're part of the black manosphere. The young black men, I don't know. I'm not even gonna lie to you, brother. I don't know if young black men are coming out to vote like that. You know, they're too busy trying to get their money, trying to go to school. For those of them in school, for those of them in trade school or whatever, you know, for those of them in the streets, you know, they're trying to do their own thing. Are they coming out to vote? I don't know, bro. I'm not, to be honest with you. That one is a hard one. That one is difficult. I don't know if they're coming out to vote, right? You know, yeah, that's a difficult one to contemplate. Yeah, maybe. But the ones of us that do go vote, those men that do vote, I do think our voting patterns at the very slightest right now are going to reflect some changes in the way we're seeing these things, for the good and the bad of it. For the good. I don't think black women realize how much of what they have and what they are is built off of black men also voting in the same direction. But black women online especially, but black women have made it very difficult to continue to vote for policies that benefit black women and don't benefit black men, and then black women tell black men, well, one of us got to win. Right? Yeah, it's yeah, you know. And yeah, so, you know, Kareem, I'm gonna read your comment in 1 minute because I'm actually glad that you're here, because, you know, initially Yenni didn't start off like that, and I'm telling y'all it's the money. I'm telling y'all most of these people didn't have no grave epiphany or outside of, oh, this is where the money is. Nothing necessarily scarring happened to them in their life. Chrissy trying to make it seem like it was the brother. I'm not gonna say his name, but you know, one brother that stalked her, and that's why she turned the way she did, and it's the black manosphere. No, you followed the money. That's why we keep on saying you followed the money. Stop acting like you didn't. You know why you have an issue with us saying that? Because it makes you feel kind of white supremacist capitalist. That's what you are, Chrissy. You don't like us saying that you followed the money, train tracks, because it makes you feel kind of icky, right? It makes you feel dirty, like you do anything for the money, like a white hyper capitalist, you know, person. Well, if the shoe fits, same thing with Yenni. Nothing happened in Yenni's life with concerning black men, not that I know of. They're just following the money, and that's okay. But yo, stop pretending like that's not you. That's you. That's you. You followed the money. The money led you. And by the way, the money's gonna lead people online to be anti-black. I'm gonna just let y'all know that off top. If you follow the algorithm, it's gonna lead you to beefing with other black people talking crap about other black people, belittling other black people. Did y'all forget what country we live in? So y'all could say, oh, it's this one situation or these 2-3 situations because I'm responding back to black men or black men been getting away. BS. You're following the money, you're following the algorithm, and it's leading you to be anti-black, and that's okay. But own that, right? Hold it, woman up, hold your ovaries. I know you can't actually literally hold your ovaries, but ovary up and own that. You following the money, that's cool. Own the fact that you leading your subscribers to a lifetime of misery and loneliness for the money. Especially if you came online, right? You came online on some fake B1 stuff, black power stuff, black community stuff, and you trying to tell me 1-2 incidents and now you like F black men forever? And Chrissy, oh damn, they're saying it now. Y'all niggas ain't shit forever. Unless y'all build Wakanda. Translation, y'all niggas ain't shit forever, period. And if you talking like that, then you're clearly saying that this is where you are. This is where your money is, Chrissy. And let's be clear. It don't take long for you to be getting them YouTube checks for $2,000 or whatever before that's a part of your life now. You ain't switching it up, Yenni. Excuse me, Chrissy. And that's okay. Yenni too. That's okay. But own that. Right? And Karine says, yeah, stop listening to her as well. I found her in 2018. And when she went after KS, I stopped listening to her. Funny is that her dad and her brother always have her back. And that Chrissy said the same thing. Chrissy said the same. I want y'all to understand what Mr. Z is saying. These are women that are not in relationships. So that means that there's no random, not part of the family man that's responsible for her. And this protection, air quotes, and provision. And so the men that are, in Yenni's case, her brother and her father. In Chrissy's case, her brother and I think her stepfather, or her uncles and whatnot. And these women openly say these men support them. They say these men back them. These men support them. These men will defend them with their lives. So what the hell are y'all talking? So in other words, y'all talking about random Negroes that y'all don't know? Or the one Negro that broke your heart, or the one Negro in college that drove your car and brought it back with no gas when you were like 22 years old? What are you talking about? That's why I tell y'all, listen, that's why I listen to them. I'm not telling y'all to listen to them. That's why I listen to them occasionally, because on their lives, they're like 2-3 hours long. They slip up and they give little tidbits of information about their life that lets you know, wait a minute, then you just talking. So the men in your life are doing their job. So really what it is, and like I said, that's why I said y'all be whining, Yenni, that's why I'm talking about it. Really, y'all whining about y'all love life and sex life. In Yenni's case, lack of sex life. If the men that are responsible for you are doing that, so some of these women, and I said it to y'all before, I said it on the Roger Report's channel, right? And shout out to the Roger Report. Some of these people don't even have that air quotes traumatic experience. They're just mad that they love life isn't what they wanted it to be. And they're just going around spewing this nonsense, poking fun at men because some of the men's love life ain't what it should be or what they want it to be. But we give the women passes for being insufferable brats, mad at the men because my love life and sex life is not what these guys are using me. Shut up. Y'all are just brats, angry brats, because those same men that protect you been blowing smoke up y'all rear end for the past 20 some odd 30 years of your life, 40 years of your life. Your dad didn't tell you, you know what, you actually might want to not be an a-hole. Yeah, baby, you're cute and all. Yeah, you got your college degree. Yeah, you got your career. But I'm a man, I'm going to tell you straight up. No real 10 toes down straight man is dealing with no a-hole woman. He's not going to deal with a mean woman. He find you attractive enough. He's going to do what he needs to do to bed you, and then he's going to run for the hills and hope he doesn't get you pregnant. See, your dads did such a great job protecting your sensibilities that they didn't tell you the actual truth about how men work. Then you came out here in the real world, in the dating world, being a whole a-hole, and there you go. That's why y'all don't even got the white man to flash in black men's faces for many of you. I'm not saying all of you are swirlers and divestors, but those of you that are, that's why you don't even got the white, because even the white man, he smell it. They say it online. They say it online. They could smell the anti-black male hate in you, and they could smell the fact that don't cooperate with nobody, with no one. That's why I said a couple nights ago, yeah, excuse me, all these names run into each other. Chrissy has the unmitigated gall to speak about who's insufferable. This doesn't exist in a vacuum, ladies. This doesn't exist in a vacuum. And what's bad, what's toxic, using you guys' words, is that how many young women y'all are how many young women listen to your poisonous toxic sludge, and it's going to be so, watching these young women get older, the young women in their mid 20s, their teens, and they don't really have the experiences. They didn't even get their heart broken for real, but they've been listening to y'all, so they have they despise men, black men specifically. Do you understand how dangerous that is going to be for these young women's lives? All because you want to wage a jihad against black men because of your love life, right? It's really sad, actually, right? And y'all give me a second. Y'all give me 1 second. Y'all talk amongst yourselves. Give Mr. Z 1 second. All right, so they're not at the window yet. All right, so let's read Demetrius' comment. And Demetrius says, I could never talk about black women the way black women talk about black men. Man, if I ever said some of the ish like that, my family found out, I'd get smacked by everyone in my family. Bro, and this is the thing, and this is why I was speaking to Anton about Anton the way I was, is him allowing Yenni to get the moral high ground, right? And this is something that the black community does often, right? We do the whole, well, black men, you can't speak that way, but the women, we understand. We get it. We don't like, everybody understands the word misogyny. No one knows what misandry is, right? And let me leave your comment up a little bit longer. No one understands what the word misandry is, because we give women we understand. Even men, we empathize. We can understand why she sounds the way she sounds. That's how a lot of the black elders sound, right? A lot of the black elders don't sound like Black Uru and BGS. The black elder, like G told you, the black elders, when he would be complaining about his mother, the black elders are the ones that told him, no, 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 you can't talk about black women like that, because we understand. Yeah, these black men, they be playing women and da da da. But then they turn around and let their daughters say all type of foul, toxic stuff. What did Dr. Umar Johnson do? He let Cynthia G look him in the face talking about abort black male babies, and then he forgave her afterward, right? And then you turn around and wonder why your sons are saying, yeah, no, your sons are not dealing with that, because, like Chrissy pretty much told you, there is no win. And black women don't understand how much that hurts them in the long run when black men don't understand. When black men understand there's no win, how much that ends up hurting black women. Because black men have a way better chance at going out than black women do, and we all know it. Y'all give me a second. I, I actually think it's kind of sad, y'all, like what we're talking about. And there's a reason for that. If y'all notice, and shout out to Kareen and shout out to Toya and whatever woman listens in the clouds but doesn't make a comment. Mr. Z is very careful with his words. Because I don't have this rage or anger, or resentment towards sisters, towards black women. I still refer to them as sisters. You know how egregious what you say, what you have to say, because I understand the heartbreak. I understand the economic situation that got people messed up psychologically, mentally, emotionally. I understand the and I said it before the whole thing, right? I was saying like I wasn't using the term touch starved, but I was saying like I know y'all crying yourself to sleep at night. I know y'all still living at. That's gonna be the next thing that people are gonna start speaking about. I would argue people are start speaking about a little bit more in the black manosphere and in these different spaces. How many of us are like? Give me a second, How many of us are well into our? Let me make sure. Give me a second. I don't want to make the background too noisy. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry, yo. Technical difficulties over here. All right, we're back. We're back. Let me read Toya's comment before I get back on the road. And thank you, Toya. Let's highlight that. And Toya says, I'll never besmirch the black man, not when so many of us are out here putting dirt on your names, the same men responsible for my utter being, safety, and sense of pleasure. Tuh. You see, and like, and I get it, man. Like, yo, loneliness is a mug, right? Loneliness is a mug. Like, you get frustrated with other black people. Mr. Z gets frustrated with other black people, right? You get frustrated, you get annoyed mainly because we're around other black people. You kind of like, over romanticize the behavior of other people, what their wealth does, right? And all this other stuff. And I get it. Like I get it. Black people, I get it. I get it, right? But some of us be talking so damn reckless on these interwebs because you mad. And let's be very clear. That's why I've been sitting. It's really you mad because you can get nor keep the type of spouse or wannabe spouse or potential spouse. And that's where a lot of and it's a recurring theme in your life, going back to whatever middle school or elementary school for many of you, but it really culminated and peaked in middle school and high school, right? And some people we can see it more clear than others. Oh, Stefco, she made it very clear what her issue was. That's why when she said she smiled when Will Smith slapped Chris Rock, it was very. She didn't have to give you the whole story behind why she smiled. It was great that she did, and she took it right back to elementary school on y'all, right? It was great that she did, but she didn't have to because we already knew because she had already been telling us about her lack of love life, right? I get the frustration, black people, but y'all on the interweb acting a goddamn fool from the white folks. Would you think they not mad at each other too? Dear black women, what you think white women aren't seething? You think Asian women aren't Asian women out here jumping on every white penis they could find, right? That's why when I said that to Laura that was on Shay Sade channel, she laughed. Because she know it. What you think white women don't peep what Asian women are on? But Asian women ain't out here sounding like neo-Nazis about Asian men. They talk crap, don't get it twisted. Ooh, they talk crap. And their interracial marriage rate is actually higher. Let me say that one more time. Their interracial marriage rate for American-born Asian women is actually more than half their population in America. And yet they still not talking the same type of crap as Cynthia G or Chrissy or Yenni or Paris Milan or Lexus Exodus or Mahogany Pink. And they actually are with the white dudes. So you got to ask yourself, why do y'all sound like neo-Nazis? Right? Let me get this right. Asian women come from the families with the men that earn more than the women, with the degrees, with all of this other stuff, yet they still marry out more than just about everybody else outside of indigenous women, and they don't talk as much crap about their men, at least not online, as black women do. Black women have the lowest interracial marriage rate, and yet they talk the most crap. Someone, please explain. Right? Or is it just Mr. Z? Right? All this neo-Nazi talk. And I'm like I told y'all let them talk long enough. Kim Foster told you about, not being chose by not only the black jocks at her school, but the black nerds. So she had to go to prom with a white dude. Yenni told you when she was 16, you know who needed a hug? 16-year-old me. Right? We already know about Cynthia G and her daddy issues. Right? Khadijah told you about how she was bullied for her darker skin and whatnot when she was a child. So like I told y'all let these people talk long enough, they're going to tell you why they on what they on. See, initially they come in, they try to be stoic with it. They try to stiff upper lip and, no, it's just because black men ain't ish. And you let them talk long enough and they go right back to middle school and high school. These people are 30 and 40-something years old. Late 20s, 30s, early 40s. We're talking about millennials here. And you let them talk long enough and they're going back to middle school and high school. So dear FD signifier, don't give me none of your feminist theory. These people are children, adults, right? Children in adult bodies. Yeah, they pay bills. Yeah, they know how to wipe their own butt. Yeah, they're tax-paying citizens. And they're mad that they're tax because they want you to be the one working. Why they talk crap about other black men? They're children in adult bodies. They're still mad about who didn't want them when they were children. Who wasn't attracted to them when they were children. And now you have Yenni over here. This face right here got all the boys mad. All the men mad. What? What you saying? Your milkshake bring all the boys to the yard. What are you talking about, lady? Oh, wannabe Khalees ass. What are you talking about? And I'm not joking. I think it's because you celibate. You ain't getting no air, right? So you got to get that energy somehow, right? We see those pictures that you be posted online. We know you ain't doing it for the girlies. Stop. Ain't nothing funnier than when women dress real provocative and they say they not doing it for male gaze and male attention. If you don't get the entire hell out of here. Right? I'm not saying y'all not doing it to compete against other women to a certain extent, but let's stop. Dear straight women, stop. Eric Denman said I called him kiddos. Hear ye, put it in the book. Put it in the book. Yo. Art said, yo, from Team Wrenches. Art, there would be no way that you wouldn't have a wrench. I'm using my I'm using StreamYards right now, so I can't tell who has a wrench or not right now, right? Because it just shows me the comment, doesn't actually show who has a wrench. My apologies. Right? Stop saying y'all don't care what men think, right? Y'all do care what black men think, and stop asking why black men care what black women think. What? You mean the two sexes of black people that occupy America care what the other sex thinks? Wow, who would have ever thought? Who would have ever thunk? Who would ever thunk it? Black women are worried about why black men care what black women think and feel. Huh. Y'all taking this neoliberal competition thing way too far. For you to actually genuinely, because I know it can be a genuine question. There's no way it's a genuine question. Why do black men care what black women think and feel? What? Right? What are y'all talking about? And this is what happens when you stay in an echo chamber, right? This is why I brought that up years ago. Y'all are in these echo chambers. You don't talk to your real life male friends and associates about this type of stuff. If you have male friends, you probably don't. You don't talk to your family members about this, the men of your same age group, not the older dudes pandering to you. Not your fathers and your uncles who tell you, yeah, it's a man's job to die just to see a smile on your face, even though you don't really appreciate him. Not your uncles. Right? I'm talking about men your same age, around your same age. Y'all not talking to them. So y'all come online, you get in your echo chambers, you produce content, you get the girlies in your comments clapping it up for your BS because they got their own daddy issues, or they're mad about their sex life, or even worse, this is really when it gets disgusting. They just found it as a form of entertainment. They're in happy, loving relationships, and they follow y'all just to get that kind of that up and down roller coaster energy off. Yeah, these black men ain't ish. These black men, and then they mute it real quick and, hey, babe, about that sandwich. Right? I remember Tone Talk speaking about this in a different way, right? These people that's in these marriages, they're in loving relationships, they're married, they're in, they're doing good, but they come home to watch reality TV show drama crap. He was talking about the women. Let's be clear. Right? It's the equivalent of what y'all say men do. We most of us are peaceful. We live in our boring 9-to-5 lives. And what we listening to in the car. Right? So that's what I'm saying. Y'all are listening. For the ladies that are listening to these people, you got to ask yourself, what have these people done for you or other black women? They put out this enraging content. They don't have any policy. So we're over here really debating policy, right? Debating what black men should do next. How this, and me and Eric Denman just said what this election is going to mean for black boys and men. Whether black young men are going to go out and vote. What are y'all propose? Y'all don't have no proposals except black men do better. What? Which really translates to black men kiss our ass. Right? Y'all don't have any answers over there. All those content creators been over there forever, and all Chrissy could say is, black men ain't shit until they build Wakanda. She literally said that, y'all. I'm not making that up. Essentially, black men ain't shit until further notice, and the further notice is when they build Wakanda. And this is who y'all decide to follow. Whether you're in a relationship or not, whether you're in a relationship with a non-black man or not. Y'all don't find it up. Themis follows y'all, people. Themis. The gay dude. The gay dude with the lisp. That's like Mr. Z having literal racists following him and subscribe to him. Y'all don't think I'll be, wait a minute, what am I saying? Why do these racists align with? Wait a minute. Like, I got my issues with sisters, but why the racist white people over here? But yeah, y'all got Themis and a bunch of other gay brothers following y'all, and y'all don't ever question why? And the way y'all speak is, now we're getting into essentialism, which is like hardcore racism, because now we're not talking about behavior anymore. Now we're speaking as if black men come out the womb messed up. There's something about the black womb. You don't realize what you're actually saying about yourself, actually, believe it or not. Because if y'all sometimes tag what's going on in Britain with those brothers, or what's going on in South Africa with those brothers, or what's going on in the rest of the continent, and you're saying, "Oh, look at these black men. They're watching this happen, or they're doing this to women in Nigeria, or in Chad, or in South Africa, or in Angola." What you're really saying is that there's something innately wrong with black plus XY chromosome. When a certain skin tone and hair texture mix with a certain XY chromosome, then there's something innately wrong with that, inherently wrong with that. Which also would mean that there's something wrong with where that XY chromosome comes from. Do you understand what you're saying about your womb, ladies? That's how y'all speaking right now. You don't even understand what you're saying because you're so enraged that you're not a wealthy or upper middle class white woman. You just spraying anything at black men. You don't care what sticks. You just want black men to feel your pain. And some of you have said it. I've read those comments online. Y'all have said it on, I've seen it on Twitter, I've seen it on IG, I've seen it on YouTube, and even some of your favorite content creators have outright said it. Let black men feel this pain. Black men need to feel, I'm happy they feeling some of this pain. Haha, to get back. What did Chrissy say? Oh, what you thought we wasn't gonna get our lick back? What? You a grown ass woman talking about tit for tit. This is why I say loser. This is why I say loser. I have no doubt in my mind Chrissy probably earns more than I do. Still a loser. You know you're a loser when you out here polygamous, can't keep no man, complaining about your nice luxury apartment with no man in it, talking about how trash you're losing. You got all the material stuff. You're winning in all these other ways that Americans value. Right? You have all the material stuff, but this one intangible stuff you don't have. Chrissy, what are you touch starved to? Yikes. Yenni, are you touch starved? Paris ain't touch starved, she married. Right? And no one says, and thank you for the super chat, no one says, if black nerds won't date you, then one, she was hideous in high school, two, she had a bad attitude, and three, she's so competitive and she did not see them. Yeah. Yep. So once again, one is she was hideous in high school. Two was she had a bad attitude. And three was she was so competitive she did not see them. Think about that, right? And when I searched for that video on her channel, I couldn't find it. It's on Themis's channel. Themis covered it. That's the only way you could find it. Right? So, I made this video to essentially tell Yenni, you could keep on poking fun at black men, making fun at black men. You got to tell me, what are your subscribers supposed to do? Okay, that's cute. The black men are mad because they're mad, right? Fake ass Cameron over here. You mad, doggy? You mad? Okay, whatever. What are your subscribers supposed to do? Your adult subscribers, the 24, 25, 27-year-olds, the 28-year-olds. What are they supposed to do, Yenni? They living at home with their moms and their dads, Yenni. Their love life is trash. They don't got a love life, Yenni. They don't got a dating life, Yenni. Some of them are celibate like you, Yenni. Some of them are not. That's why I made that video, a month ago? Talking about all those women in the comments talking about they've been celibate for 5 and 10 and 15 and 20 years. If you've been celibate for 20 years, most likely, you weren't in a relationship. Oh my God. And by the way, I'm not one of those that tell women your entire life is supposed to be this thing. I'm not, I know there's brothers in the space that say that. I'm not about that. I'm just saying, if you're going 20 years without no sex, no real relationship, you can't say that's men. That's not men. 15 years, that's not men. 10 years, that's not men. 5 years is not even men. Some months, I'll give you a year or two. But if you have 5 years, no relationship, no man, that's not men. That's not even black. You can't even say black men. Let's be very clear. Most of you, let's be honest. If the white guy winks at you, you going. If he winks at you, you going. So don't even say it's black men. If the Latino dude bring you lunch 1 or 2 times, even if he's married, he bring you lunch to work 1 or 2 times, you think that means something. You going. And this is Mr. Z's project. This is his channel. We overemphasized how horrible the boys and the men are and how the boys and the men need to mature, right? And how the boys and the men are not on the women and the girls level. And meanwhile, y'all been raising spoiled brat, a-hole, sassy women for the better part of 5 and 4 decades. And now your daughters are truly insufferable. Yet, Chrissy got the unmitigated gall to call black men insufferable. Like she ain't looking at the numbers. How y'all so educated? Y'all all in all these white people's offices. Y'all all over academia. And yet y'all got the lowest marriage rate. But black men are the insufferable ones. Yeah, that's it. And that's why my project is what it is. Ladies, y'all been getting smoke blown up y'all ass by the pastor, by the elders, by white racist society, and you actually believe your own hype. You've been smelling your own farts for too long, and it's even hurting you. Forget black men, you already have. It's even hurting you. And I don't want to hear no stuff about how happy y'all are being single. Y'all are not. Because the second you get in a relationship, you admit to us how miserable you were being single. and you start copping pleas for all the other women. Well, I'm not saying that women should be judged. Y'all be sounding like what's her name? Jeezy's wife. I didn't want to have children, but then I met this man, and I'm not saying about other women that don't want to have children. Y'all be copping please, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Protect the sisterhood and the sisterabilities of the sisterhood at all cost. And women pull that all the time, not just black women. That's a woman thing. But particularly black women. I know those other single women are miserable, but I'm not going to tell them they're miserable because I don't want to offend them. GC, you see what I'm saying? And GC says if they were happy being alone, they wouldn't talk about dating and relationship topics 24/7. But GC, when I tell you, all over these people's channels, look at what BGS shares. Look at Green Gorilla. Green Gorilla goes into philosophy and history. Look at Dr. T. Look at all these people, right? We about to get into election season. You're gonna see some vigorous. I said this already. Some real vigorous debates with those of us in the black manosphere between the centrists, the lefties, the brothers on the right. You're gonna see some real, and it ain't gonna have nothing to do with the women. But you know what the women do? All they do is try to find some way to find some type of scientific way of breaking down desirability and sex and all of this other stuff. That's all they do. The history of hair, right? Why darker skin isn't as seen as so attractive in Western world and all of this. Right? That's all they do. From the educated to the uneducated. Just try to find ways to explain why their dating life sucks. Instead of being honest, maybe you're maybe you're the one insufferable, Chrissy. Maybe you're the one. Chrissy, have you ever considered that for half a second? Chrissy, you're around my age. Have you ever considered that for half a second? That you got the unmitigated gall to call black men insufferable. What? Remember, after you said they're the easiest to get, it's just after you get them, they're insufferable. Your words. Have you ever considered that you're the one who's insufferable? Bruh, Spade Man, say that. Coming up with new and creative isms, featureism, texturism. Bro. Literally. Just babbling and rambling. I ain't gonna say it the way Ed said it, but that way. Just babbling and rambling, just going on and on and on. That's why one brother said, somebody said in my comments on one of the lives, how long can the isms go? Forever. They'll come up with a new ism every other day. Right? Toya said anything but self-reflectionism. I'm saying. Just on and on and on about how horrible black men are. Right? Now they think they could sun white men into being with them. Now they think they could tell. Imagine this. Black women that are so anti-black that they think that white men, yes, there's a very relative handful of white men that still find black women attractive and they're racist as hell, particularly to black men. Yes, there's a handful of them, but for the most part, that's a no-no. That's a no-go. And to think that there's a contingent of black women that think that they can be anti-black male and then be in relationship with white men that are anti-black male also, and get married to them and have children with them. Insane. Insanity, complete and total insanity. But this is a thing, right? And y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. This is a thing, right? It's actually frightening to tell y'all the truth, right? So I definitely want to bring this video to you guys because Yenni over here poking fun. It was kind of a freestyle. I didn't have any bullet points on, but you know, these people really need to come. Like, I don't know, somebody in these people's family, somebody that cares about them, they need to have a coming to Jesus moment, something, right? And I frankly, Mr. Z doesn't think human beings are here to be alone, right? That's why I made the video about friendship last week. I don't think between friends and loved ones and intimacy, whether you know, straight or gay, you know, I know some of my Christian brothers have something to say about the LGBTQ stuff, but you're not meant to be alone. That's why these people are talking about touch star. First of all, let's be very clear that they're also just complaining. Complaining is a cottage industry within itself. Yes, we understand, you know. And there is some attention that they're garnering about complaining about this thing. Yes, that's true also. That's 100% true, right? But in reality, they really are touch starved. Some of these people, like we've said, you know, in the comments, they'll tell you they've been celibate for how long? You've been celibate for over a decade? And it's not about the sex as much as it is about the intimacy. It is about the touching and caressing and loving and someone loving up on you. It is about that. It's not just the sex in a vacuum, but it also speaks to, if you're 12 months in a year, 10 years, you're trying to tell me you went 120 months plus, 120 months plus, and you didn't find a man, air quotes, on your level in 120 plus months? And you think that's men's fault? The common denominator is you. Dear Chrissy, eventually you're going to have to say it's you, Chrissy. Eventually it got to be you, Chrissy. It can't be black men. It can't be men eventually, Chrissy. Yenni, it can't be black men. It can't be men eventually. At least show us the white husband. Show us something. The Latino boyfriend. Show us something. You see, Kim let you know, I got a man now. Now we gotta, you know, I'm not even gonna go into that, but I got a man right now. At least Kim's did that. But Paris lets you know she married. But Ostefco, right? Yenni, Chrissy, somebody, right? Y'all could pay somebody to just show up in the picture with y'all for. You know why that matters? It's because you guys are over here railing against men. Y'all railing against black men. Railing. Right? Spewing all type of venomous slime about black men. Fine. Right? And there's no consistent love in your life from what we can see. I mean that as an intimate partner, and that does mean something because young women are listening to y'all. Young women are listening to y'all, Yenni, while you poo-poo 50-50 relationships. As if you don't know the economic landscape. The reason why I'm so incensed with excuse me, it's Chrissy that said that, yeah, Yenni. But The reason why I'm so incensed with Chrissy when she's saying that is because Chrissy's not dumb. Chrissy knows the financial realities for Americans, particularly Black Americans. And for her to be so reckless as to essentially say, y'all loser women are in 50-50 relationships with your man. I would rather be single. That's why you're single, Chrissy. That is why you're single, Chrissy. And unlike you, the vast majority of your subscribers can't afford to be. They can't afford to have the sentiments you have, and they can't afford financially to be single. That's why they're living at home with their parents at 32, 35 years old. That's why they're dying in student loan debt without somebody to help them shoulder that burden. That's why they financing a goddamn Toyota Corolla for 8 years. And all you got for them is enraging language, Chrissy, and find your baller dude or be single. At least Yenni trying to tiptoe back into the, I don't got a problem with a working class. After years of baller talk too. What you're doing is dangerous and reckless. And it is harming the young women that listen to you. It is harmful. Because you admitted, for you, it's the tit for tat thing. What you thought we wasn't going to get our lick back, you're using other Black women to get your lick back, Chrissy. Those young women in their early 20s who don't know no better, listening to you, spending years single because they're listening to people like you and Yenni, and they're making themselves insufferable to men, including Black men. The people that's the most likely to partner with them. Shout out to all you wannabe swirlers and divestors. All of you that done got played by 2 and 3 and 4 white dudes by this point in your life. You ain't saying it out loud because you don't want to be embarrassed. That all men shut up. Right? Demetrius, you see what I'm saying? And Demetrius says, Ninja Person and Z, imagine choosing basically hermit life willingly because they ain't got no friends. You know they don't. The shelf life on a Black woman's fringe life is about 5 to 6 years. That's the shelf life of their friend circle, or at least individual friends in their friend circle, right? And let's read that again. Ninja Person said, and excuse me, Demetrius said, Ninja Person and Z, imagine choosing basically hermit life willingly. They'll turn cuckoo and drive everyone off, And in parentheses, Demetrius says, "Cause they ain't got no friends, bro." Talk about masochism, huh, right? And it like that's why I speak about capitalism the way I do, and neoliberalism. That's why in my community tab, you go far enough, you see me give you the definition of atomization. That's why I asked everyone to watch Social Dilemma on Netflix. It's still on Netflix from my understanding, the documentary. That's why I asked y'all to watch these type of things. That's why I've made multiple videos about social media and its effects on us psychologically, right? I'm trying to get people to break out of this thing. I'm not saying you don't have real gripes in life, right? Real traumas, real issues. I might think they're petty. I might think they're petty, but I'm asking you to look at these things on a macro level, and what's going on in our society is causing us to be atomized. And then you get into your echo chambers online with similarly, people with similar traumatic experiences, right? And y'all just spew the same nonsense to each other over and over again for years on end. Years. And then the content creators that y'all swear by go sell out in the sunset. Paris Milan has got hundreds of thousands of dollars from y'all. She's married. She sold out in the sunset on y'all. She was able to use YouTube as venture capital to start a business, a real legitimate business, off of talking crap about black men and using black women's anger and angst to do it. Right? She used y'all to start her business. Chrissy got a luxury apartment wherever the hell she lives. And yeah, it's maybe from her 9 to 5, but you gotta believe that some of that is coming from that YouTube money. Some of that luxury, but she could say, oh, I don't need YouTube, but YouTube could disappear today and I'll still have my luxury apartment. Translation, that's another one of your coworkers. I don't need this job, whatever. All your coworkers that say they don't need this job, especially the women, they need that damn job. But you think Chrissy ain't paying some of her rent on that luxury apartment or that luxury condo, whatever the hell, off of some of this YouTube money? They're selling out into the sunset. Yenni telling you, oh, I'm a 6-figure person. Y'all don't know the taxes I pay? Right? The question then becomes to all the women that listen to me, all 3, 5, 7 of y'all, right? What does neoliberalism look like on black women? What does hypercapitalism look like on black women? What does being selfish, excuse me, tongue-tied myself. What does being selfish look like on black women? And let me say that again, just in case Compassionate and Callous decide, because you never know what he decide to splice out and make his own thing. So let's say this. Let's try to be smooth with this. Let me make sure my background is all nice, right? So let's say this again. What does capitalism look like on black women? What does neoliberalism look like on black women? What does being selfish look like on black women? What does being a shrewd businesswoman look like on black women? Right? What does being cold and calculated and conniving look like on black women? What does using other people and stepping on other people to reach your final destination look like on black women? That's the question, right? What do these things look like on black women? What does virtue signaling to black women about everyone else, particularly black men, look like on black women? And I say that because, like I said earlier, many of these people already told you how great their life is, how the men in their life support them, the actual men in their real lives support them. But yet they make this type of content. Right? Mr. Z already told you what's going on in my love life and why I make the type of content I make. I'm very specific on why it is. It's not just to aggravate black women, right? What they say, antagonize black women, right? Toya, right? There's a reason why I put the content out I do. But then, once again, these ladies making a whole lot of money, not only off of antagonizing black men, but enraging black women and keeping them single and miserable and lonely. And then people got to interact with these single, miserable, lonely people in public. That's why I tell you, this is your cashier. This is the young lady behind the register at the bank, right? The bank teller, excuse me. This is your nurse, right? This is your daughter, your son's teacher. You wonder why they speak to you the way they do. This is the young lady at the return in the head of the return line at Walmart. You wonder why they speak the way they do, why they have the attitude the way they do, right? Because all they do is watch this enraging content. And the difference between TV and the internet is that now the internet just makes it that much more accessible. And then these people grow parasocial relationships with these content creators, right? You read these people comments. You know, there was a person that came into my comments, I think N.M. Hawkins, I think is the name. I'm guessing it's a black woman, and said feminism did not give men the right to be losers. Oh yeah, no, men could be losers. Oh no, yeah, no, no, no. Oh no, y'all want it, y'all got it all the way. Y'all wanted it, y'all got it 50-50 at best, right? Because nobody talked to y'all about what the end of patriarchy looks like for real, for real. Y'all really don't understand zero sum game, right? Y'all don't look at a freaking pizza pie and start taking slices. What happens? Look at a seesaw. There's so many things in life that show you what balance look like, what one side being higher than the other side look like, and y'all still don't get it. Right? And Toya says, Mr. Z, female subscribers are herefore referred to as 7. Oh man, it's not enraging as much as it is sobering and sad, because these are women that we grew up with. Some of these women have children, right? These are women that we know. These are our sisters, our mothers. I say this all the time. Our sisters, our mothers, our nieces, our aunts, right? Our grandmothers, right? Our cousins, right? These are those people. And you watch them go year after year being single and miserable and angry at the world and angry at men, and never consider how them and their attitude contributes to this. And it's really them, right? So for Yenni, and let's tie this up and end it with a nice bow. For Yenni to put up that post with the pouting man, right, young man, right, and for her to put up another post with her face and say, you know, essentially this is the face that's getting all the men mad or whatever, and she's getting off on that, right? You have to ask yourself, what about what's going on is this is what you find entertaining. This is what is arousing you, right? You find this arousing. The question is why. That's why I'm poked fun and made fun. Maybe it's because you've been celibate. You want some of that male energy, even if it's negative, right? It's like, you ever see the women when they go out and all their homegirls are complimenting them all the time. Ooh, girl, you look good in that dress. And ooh, girl, you doing that and all that other stuff. And yeah, they like it, but it don't mean nothing if a man ain't looking. And we know it because they'll say it. As I said before, we're living in the era of exposure. I'm gonna start saying that again more and more before somebody else starts saying it and act like they said it first. Right? right? So on that note, these people are trying to make fun of the Black Manosphere. Um, Shout out to Kev from Black Men Being Brutally Honest. If y'all not subscribed, go subscribe to Kev from Black Men Being Brutally Honest. When he was asking last night, is the Black Manosphere dead? No, it is not. Right? No, it is not. You know. And Kaneda says, and shout out to you, brother Kaneda. Kaneda says, laugh now, wait until 2030. And we already in 2030, that following decade from 2030 to 2040, I think for us millennials and for the Gen Z that's of age right now, I think it's gonna look. That's where all the fallout from the decades of you not knowing how to socialize with the opposite sex really. That's when it shows itself. Unless you're gonna be a whole lot of elderly people getting together and trying to, for the women that froze their eggs, trying to have children at 50 something, 60 something years old. 50 something, yeah, because if we're the oldest millennial is like 42 now. Yeah, so within the next 8 years. So yeah, approaching 50, approaching 50, maybe in their 50s. We're just gonna be a whole bunch of old people getting with each other out of desperation. What? Right? Because Morgan Stanley already told y'all with the memo about the she economy that from 2018 to 2030, about 45% of these women are going to be single and childless. So on the other side of 2030, let's see. Right? And let's read Kaneda's comment. And thank you for the super chat, Kaneda. And the brother said, laugh now, wait until 2030. Yeah. For I would throw all of us younger Xers, all the entire millennials, and at least the oldest of Gen Z, so about 20 and older, 19 and older Gen Z. So for like a good over 25 years, really, from about people that are about 20, 19 years old now to about 46, 47 years old. Yeah. So yeah. And yet these content creators, all they want to do is what the ladies are saying, antagonize. All they want to do is antagonize the opposite sex, but particularly the women want to antagonize the men. Maybe y'all not paying attention to South Korea and what they're saying, and even Japan and what they're saying. People not coupling up, not marrying. The women don't earn enough to float themselves. And the fact that they're not married, so their husband isn't leaving anything because they're not married, so they don't have a husband. And they didn't never had children, so once again, their children are not taking on that slack. The government is going to be in it. They don't know what they're going to do. That's what the South Korean government is saying. Oh, crap, we don't know what we're going to do because so many millennials did not get married. Millennial women. But guess what, ladies? The drain on the economy is not the men, it's the women. Yikes. Women are the ones who take the most out of the taxes. Oh well. Out of men and women, it's the women, but okay. What, 2/3 of student loan debt is from women? The over $1 trillion of student loan debt? Slowly approaching $2 trillion? Yeah. And y'all know y'all never gonna pay that off in your lifetime. The same people with 60 and 70 and 80 and 100 and $120,000 in student loan debt got the nerve to tell you they're not going to be in struggle love relationships. Lady, we didn't even cut your car note. We didn't count your car note. We didn't count your credit card and consumer debt. We're just stating your student loan debt, and you come into the table with 30 and 40 and 50 and 60 and 70 and 80 and 90 and 100 and 110 and $120,000 in student loan debt, and maybe more. Once again, we didn't count your car note. We didn't count your consumer debt and your credit card debt. And you're talking about being in struggle love relationships with men. Lady, you could be a whole $200,000 in debt. We didn't even count that wedding that you would have had, or that house, or anything. You could be $250,000 in student loan, in combined debt. And you're talking about not being in a struggle love relationship. If you don't get the entire hell out of here. Right? Absolute insanity. Absolute insanity. And the fact that, at least in the Black manosphere, we engage with these people. We engage with women we disagree with. I promise y'all, a few months ago, was that 6-7 months ago, when the young lady came on Roger's channel talking crap, talking crazy, y'all know what we got off. We gave her advice online. Then we got off on the back chat. I'm not gonna tell y'all the details. Y'all should have been in part of the back chat. We spoke to her still. Giving this lady was a whole ass swirler at the best, divester at the worst. And we still gave her we gave her brotherly advice. Y'all understand that this lady came on to antagonize us, and we still gave her brotherly advice? And yet these Chrissies and Yennis and Paris, they only bring you on to make fun of you and go in on you, and to try to sun you like Kim Foster tried to do to the brother. And why do you listen to Kevin Samuels? For the same reason them lame ass women listen to you, Kim. How you got a whole channel talking crap about men all day, and you asking brothers why they listen to Kevin Samuels? If you don't get your, you know what? Let's bring back "we don't need these niggas" feminism. Okay. That's funny, D. Scott. D. Scott said here to flame some lames. And Canadian, thank you for the super sticker, brother. Thank you for the super sticker. Right? So let me make sure Better You isn't 100% correct, because I already said this at least 2 to 3 times already that I'm gonna close it out. Okay, so we're truly gonna close it out. All right, y'all like, share, subscribe. Hit the thank you button. Yeah. You know, like I said, election season is heating up. We're gonna start covering more and more of that stuff. We're gonna start covering more and more politics. We're gonna start speaking about who in the Black manosphere might want to, get with a politician that's running for president and propose some stuff. I think that's important. Go to them with Dr. T. Hassan Johnson's 15-point plan. We need somebody articulate, hopefully, somebody that's kind of connected, right? Or at least get that person to somebody that's connected. Yeah, it's time for us to do. Yeah, we're still going to be talking about the women, but it's bigger than the women, right? Like I said, this is more than just the women. The reason why it's important that we sometimes cover them, like Mr. Z, who covers them all the time, is there's a cultural project to this also. We need to disabuse everyone of the notion that their daughters are sugar and spice and everything nice, and their sons are these big, immature, idiotic, selfish, big children, right? Big toddlers in men's bodies. We need to disabuse people of that. And that's why it's important to let these women talk so they could tell you about how they're still griping about who didn't want them when they were 16 years old, who wasn't attracted to them when they were 15 years old. Right? That's the important part of this conversation. That's why we covered that. But also what's important is that we forward something tangible for boys and men instead of allowing these people to continue to benign neglect our sons and then complain about it 15 and 20 years later and 25 years later when their daughters don't have a man to marry, air quotes, on their level. Right? That's why we need to cover the cultural aspect of it, the kind of pop culture-y aspect of it, but also get into some of your local politicians' ears. Right? What was important, and let me end it on that. What was important about Kevin Samuels, for those of you that don't understand it, or what message was he pushing? He was pushing the fact that your daughters are really the insufferable a-holes. And your daughters have kids and they have sons. He showed how many of them torpedoed their marriage. Wait, you divorced your man because of what? He was a police officer and da-da-da-da-da? And you let the other woman get him and now you regret it? Right? You were messing with a known D-boy and he died and he got killed, and now you're sad and you have a kid from him and now you don't know what you're gonna do with your life? And you knew what the consequence could have been? You want to know what Kevin was doing? I don't even want to say that he was exposing them. Them ladies were exposing themselves. Those ladies were exposing themselves. Or themselves. Right? Wait, you're a heavyset sister with a chest tattoo and you still looking for a baller dude and you got kids and what? And you're serious? You're dead serious. You're not joking. Wait, you're a 23-year-old recent college graduate and you're sassing a man that literally could be your father, and you tell him, no, you gotta listen to me. No. What? Looking like you just fell out of a 1990s rap song? Rap music video? And yet you're sassing a man that could be your father? Not even sassing, straight up being rude to a man that could be your father? Wait, you're a young lady and you're attractive, and you know you're attractive, and you're trying to hold out, you're wasting your looks holding out for the richest dude you can possibly get, and he's still got to bend to your will. Right? Wait, your man makes $75,000 a year. You're in your 20s, and you don't think he makes enough. So these women went on Kevin Samuels' show to expose themselves. Why that matters in the larger conversation is that our society has deferred to those women as they get older, and then they don't have no man. And then this is when your pastor or some local politician chastises the men and says, man up. It was important. The white woman that calls in, letting you know her dad set her up nice. She's good. She's stable. She got money. And she's looking for a man on her level because her dad had been blowing smoke up her ass his whole life. Her whole life. Let's say that again. Her father has been blowing smoke up her ass for her whole life. Then he turns around and sets her up nice financially, which means she got to skip through her 20s in the struggle, her financial struggle in her 20s, and meeting a man and climbing up that ladder with him. So she pretty much is, and I think she was in her 30s, but she got to skip the 20s struggle. And so now she in her 30s like, yeah, where's the man? I don't know, he's still struggling. He's still trying to climb up the ladder. So go date somebody older by 10 years, 15 years then. right? So these women called in and exposed themselves, and that matters because it changes the conversation to the men are messing up in a vacuum to could it possibly be okay, fine. Concede the point. Okay, so your sons are big toddlers, cool. What about your spoiled brat daughters though? That part. Oh no, Mr. Z ain't gonna leave that with just black men today. Oh no. To all you white men and you Latino men and you Asian men and you black men, what about your spoiled ass brat daughters? You mean, I mean the mean ones and the sassy ones and the a-holes and the materialistic ones. That brat that you raised, that entitled a-hole that you raised, the one that you blew smoke up her ass for 20 and 30 years of her life. Now she can't keep a man worth a damn. You keep on saying, oh, these men ain't stepping up. No, your daughter's an asshole and you helped to make her that. Right? Okay, for real now. Mr. Z didn't sit it how many times now? I think this is the fourth time. All right, let's pause up because Mr. Z could go all day. We'll end it out here. Definitely wanted to bring this to y'all because of Yenni doing her Yenni thing, the sassiness. So we'll end it out here. Love, peace, and chicken grease. I'll pause right here. Y'all go check out other Manosphere content, other non-Manosphere content for the love of God. Right? Please go check out other non-Manosphere content also so you get an understanding of this world. And hopefully you don't misinterpret the information you're getting to come right back and be like, well, like Yenni's doing, taking the information just to come back and be like, you see, this is why black men ain't ish. Wait, what? Right? So on that note, we'll end it there. Thank you for the super sticker again, brother. And we'll end it with the super sticker up, right? And y'all have a great rest of y'all day. Mr. Z out. All right, everybody.